Awesome, I love it. Do you think you'd be an author yet?
Actually, my goal was 21, and I turned 22 last week.
So you're right on cut. Right
I'm like a little bit behind schedule, but.
When you ask anyone before they've published their first book how they would do it, oftentimes you get blank stares and looks of fear. And that's the look that I oftentimes get when I walk in and I tell people, you're going to publish a book this year. Now the reality of it is it's an isolating, scary, challenging process, but the real thing about it is, like, with that process you can be successful. So we found there's two things to make someone succeed as an author. The first thing is you have to identify what you care about. What is that passion? What is that purpose? What's the thing that you really want to explore over the next 6 to 9 months? That's the first part. The second part is you need a little bit of a process, a roadmap, and just the right elements of coaching along the way, because everyone has those moments of doubt when they think they can't possibly finish it. But what's cool about it is once you give people those two things, the ability to really understand something that they're curious about, to go deep on it, and to really explore something they care about, and you give them a bit of a guided process and a little bit of coaching along the way, anything's possible. And that's why it's exciting to see how these authors change their mind from something that seems so daunting to something that they were all able to accomplish and create something awesome.
I think there's been a lot of highlights. For me, the first time I turned in the manuscript, the catharsis of, I wrote this book, that was so emotionally powerful. And at that moment, even if no one ever read the book, it would still mean the world to me. I think another one in terms of like tangible benefits in the real world, the ability for me to reach out to all sorts of people who I would have never otherwise had access to is absolutely insane. So you connected me to, for example, to Scott Case, like the founder of Priceline, and like that's the type of thing that it's a really good line at parties. So that's monumentally increased the quality of my life. But more broadly, I think just the types of people that I've been able to learn from has really enriched my own understanding of not only this area, but generally broader concepts too. And all of that has really culminated in a very, very enlightening way.
There have definitely been a lot of cool things from talking about in interviews and things like that, but for me the most exciting thing is being able to see my own mindset change, and it's been like really prominent change for me, and I think I saw it during the process when I would like catch myself thinking in a certain way, and then I would draw inspiration from an interview I just had and kind of change my thinking around. But also now that I'm done writing the book and like I look back on the past 6 months, I can see that like the choices I've made for like where I want to go with my career or things I've gotten involved in have definitely been impacted by the book and the stories I've heard from people. And I also feel myself like I feel so much happier. I feel like my mind has opened up and I can see the self-growth, and I think that's something that will be like long lasting, so that's really exciting for me.
Man, it was just the moment that I realized what my purpose. I wanted to answer what is my purpose in life and in my career before I even knew that this course was out there. Even I was taking improv, but I didn't even really do it that way. I was taking improv to be better at dating, It was totally different motives to get into it. But when I was doing this, the thought process, the exercise that we did to figure out what we want to write about, I mean, that was just the goal, to get you to work out the things that I needed to be worked, that I wish I wanted to be able to work out for so long and just didn't know how. Yeah. It was the strategies that we did. Just asking simple questions. What are you interested in? What are you actually doing? What are people doing out there that's similar to that? What could be done? And it didn't take that long to do that research. It was just taking a step back and genuinely asking yourself, what would you be able to do without like some sort of extrinsic motivation pushing you there? What are you intrinsically motivated to do? That was the coolest point for me, is that everything else that's going on in my life, I have a path that I have that long-term path now that I know that I'm on, and I can find ways that whatever I'm doing can always build toward that, but I'm always moving in a direction that I'm sure of.
I realized kind of in the beginning of this class that this book was going to be more important to me, like professionally, academically, and personally, than just like a bullet point on a resume or a grade, some sort of class project. It was going to be like really integral to my future, and I think that that's really the case because I've already felt the changes personally, but I think that I will, it's a tool. It's such a cool tool to have, and it required a lot of hard work, but that hard work is like so totally proportional to the, I think, potential it has to bring about really cool results in real life time, in real life, in the real world, not just in the classroom. So pretty stoked to think about that.